Welcome to the 5-Minute Bible Talk. I'm Reverend Kathy, and the segment today is called The One That God Wrote. Right before I went into ministry, I was working in a Walden's bookstore, and one day an elderly gentleman came in seeking a Bible. I asked him what version he was looking for, and he said, "I want the one that God wrote." I explained that there were different versions of the Bible, but he was adamant. "I want the one that God wrote." It took me a few minutes before I realized he was looking for the King James version. In the book Reading the Bible Again by Marcus Borg, the author writes that there are two lenses in which to read the Bible. The first lens is Bible believing, meaning that you believe that it is the inerrant, infallible Word of God. The second lens is not so much on how to read the Bible, but how not to read the Bible. That not to read it as literal historical fact, or that it always expresses the will of God. Unity's lens is that the Bible is the sacred scriptures of Christianity, but see it as a collection of writings divinely inspired, but written down by humans, and therefore susceptible to filters of human experiences. We read it metaphysically to see how it speaks to our own individual spiritual journey in this time and this place. But by whatever lens you use, there's no getting around the fact that the Bible is the most published book in the world. Over the past 50 years, 3.9 billion copies have been sold. It's been translated into 698 languages. And I believe this is an American statistic, but 9 out of 10 households have a Bible. But very few of those Bibles have been read. And I wonder sometimes if that's due to our history, that from the 1st century to the middle of the 14th century, the Bible was totally in the hands of the church. Translated from Hebrew and Greek into Latin, the priests could read and write Latin. They transcribed it, and therefore it was kept within the church because the masses weren't reading or writing very much at that time. So the church told the people what the Bible said, how to interpret it, and how to apply it to your life. It wasn't until 1382 that a full English translation was written, and with the event of the printing press, made the Bible more available to the masses. In 1611, the King James Version was published, authorized by King James of England and Scotland. It was called the Authorized Version, the official Bible of England, and the only Bible of the English Church. It is lyrical, classical English literature, beautiful, flows over the tongue. It's gorgeous. It was revised in 1982 for more modern English, but still the most revered and beloved version. The other popular version is the Revised Standard Version, published in 1952. It was the first translation to benefit from the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls, those ancient texts. It was revised in 1989 and has received the widest acclaim and broadest support from academics and church leaders of any modern English translation. It is the only Bible translation that is considered to be widely ecumenical. There's also the New International Version, what came out in 1978, well received, but leans towards a more evangelical interpretation. So, which is the one, and there's all kinds of translations. There's translations for recovery, there's translations for parenting, there's translations or Bible versions for this and that. Many of them out there, gender-free language. But which one was written by God? Well, first and foremost, I believe that the Bible written by God is the written words within your heart, that divine guidance and inspiration that you receive as you seek to be more of an expression of the divine that you are. But if you're looking for text to support and to guide you along the way, Alden Studebaker, our Unity minister, wrote Wisdom for a Lifetime, How to Get the Bible Off the Shelf and Into Your Hands. And he says, when you're looking for a Bible, read the foreword. Find out who wrote it, why they wrote it, what was the purpose, and how they went about it. He said, then look at the size of the print, because if you're going to dig a deep dive, you don't want to have eye strain. And the third is, See if it feels right to you. As you open it up and read it, does it feel like this is going to be able to be a Bible that breaks open? That you can find those words alive in your heart and in your life? So the question is, which one is the one that God wrote? The one in your heart. And then following your heart, you can find the text that will support and guide. Blessings.